there. But we do have a special guest in the studio tonight. We have Yvonne Petersen. She is with the Virgin Islands Developmental Disability Counsel. Yvonne, wave to the crowd. They are seeing you right now. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Thanks for coming back. Yvonne has been here maybe a couple of times in the past before the hurricane, talking about sort of the same kinds of stuff. But she's back now to give us, I guess, an update on what's happening, I guess, since the hurricane. Fair assessment?
Yes.
So how you doing?
I'm fine.
You doing fine?
Yes.
So what's happening with the Virgin Islands advocacy in the many capacities that it is?
Well, post-hurricane, plenty is going on. One is that tomorrow we have a disaster preparedness seminar
Okay.
to help prepare those with disabilities, those who are more vulnerable population, to make sure they're prepared. As you know, after the hurricane, they were the ones that pretty much had
Kind of left out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I call them the invisible people.
Yes, yes.
Yes, and so we're having that. That's in sponsorship with our DD Network partner, Disability Rights Center of Virgin Islands.
Yes.
As
Okay.
well as VIU said.
Okay.
And we work together, what you call a DD Network. And then that's what we're doing tomorrow and next month.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be doing this self-advocacy
Okay.
and parent advocacy conference. What it is that, and I think this hurricane kind of brings it to the, bubbles it to the top
Mm-hmm.
about advocacy. Learn how to advocate for yourself.
Yes.
What you want, what you need.
Yes.
And to make sure you get it, your voice is heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what it's about.
Okay. Okay. So let's go back to what's happening, I guess, now.
Yes.
So tomorrow, you were in St.Thomas today, and then tomorrow you're having, I guess, the St.Croix version of this whole
Yes.
conference. So what's going to be happening tomorrow most
What-
specifically?
What seminar is going to be at UVI, the Great Hall.
Okay.
From 10 to about 3. And what it is to start having people with disabilities, learn about what's necessary in preparing for a hurricane. For example, on Tuesday, we had it there by Waiko.
Mhm.
We had WAPA there.
Okay.
Because, a lot of time when people, after hurricane, people want to go out and look and see what's going on. But it's
Mhm.
not safe.
Okay.
Because you may have live wires, you may have things like that. And
Okay.
what people would just do is stay in their homes,
Mm-hmm.
make sure they have enough water,
Mm-hmm.
and have the necessities for at least 7 days.
Okay.
And so those are kind of look at. We want to, we had FEMA there
Okay.
to make to understand what is the requirements in reference to prepare for understand what FEMA does, also understanding what entities, what our agencies does to help.
Okay.
And so,
So you have representatives from all the agencies pretty
Yeah.
much going to be there?
well, we should have WAPA there. We should have the FEMA there.
Mm-hmm.
And also the people from the Public Defender's Office who has the advocacy to make sure that people's rights are, understand the rights, things like that.
Okay.
And issues of landlord and tenant issues, because after the storm,
Uh-huh.
we had landlords who lost their roofs.
Yeah.
We had, and they were homeless in some ways.
Yeah.
They were displaced.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question is, what happens when you have a landlord also displaced? What happens to his tenant?
Yeah.
Can he put his tenant out so he can have a place to live? All these kind of questions
Okay.
were being asked is because it needs to understand what are the legalities and
Okay.
a situation like that.
Okay.
One of the things that was brought up also, and we had human services there.
Uh-huh.
We are 2 weeks from the hurricane?
Yeah.
And we have so many blue tarps.
Yeah, we still got a lot. We still got a lot.
Yes.
We still got a lot.
And so what happens if you have a storm? A storm can start early. It doesn't have to be in September.
Mm-hmm.
And you have more people needing shelter
Yeah.
than before.
Yeah.
So, and I know Human Services is looking into, understanding this, how do we address this capacity?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe you start looking to instead of everybody going to shelter,
Okay.
maybe if some people have friends or family or associates where they can stay by their place at least to weather the storm,
Okay.
then that would help alleviate the capacity of overcapacity of some of these shelters.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are kind of things that the questions are going to ask. One thing that was very important is that WAPA talked about when people hook up their generators
Mm-hmm.
to make sure it's done right.
Okay.
So you don't have your electricity going through the lines.
Yeah.
That is dangerous for people working
People
on
working
it.
on the lines, yeah.
So those kind of things were brought up is to make sure you,
Okay.
you use your generator right, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody from what's the local department here?
Vaitima?
Vaitima. No one from Vaitima coming.
Not Tuesday.
Not Tuesday. Okay. We will pray that hopefully they show
Yeah,
up tomorrow, because I think they're an integral part of what.
They're the core.
Yeah,
And when
they-
you have this, from my understanding, you have that nice building there. I know in St. Thomas by Niski Center.
Yes.
Niski area. We're supposed to be the hub.
Uh-huh.
You know, the place is supposed to be the real nucleus
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Do you know if their website is up?
There
Because I know there was some issue.
was an issue with the website.
Yeah,
and then
issue
it
with the
was
website. I'm not even sure if that has been resolved. And if anybody knows if the website for Vitima is up, please give us a call, 340-201-9005. So this is just all about and this is just for everybody, or just for the elderly?
Well, anybody come, because people have caregivers,
Okay.
people have family members.
Okay.
And it's to me, you never get enough information being prepared.
Yeah.
Especially after
You want to get
this-
as more information as possible. Yeah.
especially what we experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and then coming up in June
Mm-hmm.
is another conference or another.
A conference self-advocacy, and that's something that they mandated by a federal mandate. The DD Council operates under the Developmental Disability and Bill of Rights Act. What is a civil rights? And the key goal is to make sure that people with developmental disabilities, they're integrated, they can live independent where they want to live,
Yes.
where they want to work,
Okay.
and they can be included. It's about inclusion.
Be included in society,
in the
basically.
society.
Yes, exactly. I got
and
you.
so to do that, we do 3 areas. Advocate, teach them how to advocate for themselves. We can't do everything for them.
Yes.
It's also teach them the leadership skills to do that.
Yeah. So that basically means be able to I guess, to speak for yourself.
Exactly,
Yeah, and
you
talk
know.
for yourself and stand up and
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's for stuff. That's for people who with disability. Then you have the parents.
Okay.
So we have children with disabilities, and we need to get the parents to learn to advocate and understand the rights of their
Of the children. I
Yes.
got you.
And that's not easy,
Okay.
because you know, there's always going to be a fight.
Yes.
There's always going to be a pushback.
Yes.
And if the more they understand the laws
Uh-huh.
and the rights, the more they can advocate for it and get what they need.
What
to
they-
make sure
yeah.
that, you know, because the bottom line is that we want children, all children, to be successful.
Mhm.
And not because you have a special need means you cannot be.
Mhm.
You know? And we need to address those issues,
Mhm.
because if you find, I know you heard of the school to prison pipeline.
Yes.
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 Majority is people with disabilities
Yes.
and people who come out of foster care.
Okay.
That makes them, and in the mainland it's 80%.
Okay.
We don't have no data here,
Yeah.
but I'm quite sure is relevant to that.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So the self advocacy.
Advocacy, uh-huh.
Is anything in place already, or is this starting? This whole process starting like brand new?
Well, we've been doing that conference for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And what we do, we would bring self-advocates from the mainland
Okay.
to show how they were able to become independent.
Okay.
For example, the first one who came in, he has his car. He lived in a wheelchair, has cerebral palsy.
Okay.
He was able to get a car,
Okay.
get his own business,
Okay.
and have his own house.
Okay.
And so they advocated for them. We had someone who was first one in that state and county was born with a disability, and he was able to be successful.
Mm.
So we bring people to show what they do
Mhm.
and how they were able to overcome the challenges. And the one we're having, his name is Ricky Browsow. He's going to be here, and he's also successful. And we want to show them that it can happen for you.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you said the last 3 years. So help me here. So when you were on the show the 2 times in the past, were you talking about this sort of stuff as well?
No,
Or a whole different subject?
Yeah, a whole different subject.
Okay,
You know?
okay.
Because it depends on what that happens around. It used to happen around September,
Okay.
but we know we just stay away from September
September,
from now
yeah.
on. And so we start doing it in June because it was set up for September. You know what
Yeah,
happened?
that's a bad month.
Yeah, I think September we just try to leave it alone as
Uh,
best we can.
Yes. Okay. So seniors and adults advocating for themselves for rights, I guess rights and I guess the basic necessities so that they can function well within the community. I mean, I guess they need ramps and bathrooms and these are the kind of things.
But that's just part of it. When people think of ADA, which is, the ADA law, they think about a barrier, eliminating barriers. But that's just part of it. The key part of ADA is not about barriers, it's about civil rights.
Okay.
And so the DD Act, which was passed years before the ADA, it was done so that the DD Act can be realized, because the ADA was about eliminating the barriers that do not allow people with disabilities to integrate,
Okay, I got
to
you.
live in a community.
Okay.
So it's about not about barriers, but also education
Okay.
and employment.
Okay.
And if people who are disabilities, and they're the most productive and the most dependable.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
I got
And so
you.
and this is the thing where you have to look at the big picture. If people with disabilities don't get employment, which they should, right, in the community, then they contribute to the community tax base. And also, if they work long enough, they get Social Security. And guess what? If they don't have the Social Security, who's gonna have to take care of them?
Yeah.
Us, the
Yeah.
government.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of like a,
Yes. And so it's important that people understand beyond just the immediate. They have to think
Yeah.
down the road.
yeah, it's kind of like a
Right.
funny circle there in a sense. So the whole thing of self-advocacy, that, as you said, that's being able to just stand up for your own self.
And know your rights.
Okay, and know your rights more importantly.
Right.
So where are these rights online? Is there a website, or is this
Yeah.
part of the VI code, or?
This is the federal.
Okay, this
It's
is a
under
federal
the-
thing, okay.
It's under the DD Act.
Okay,
Yeah, it's under the Administration for Community Living.
okay,
And so it's about integrating people with disability in the community.
okay,
So
okay,
it's a Civil Rights Act, and it covers a lot of things, because it covers the issues of education,
okay,
employment, recreation, health, all the different areas. In fact, right now, there's several areas we're looking at. Voting.
What is that?
Voting.
Voting, okay.
Voting
that's
education.
Yes, that's another thing that she mentioned, yes.
Yes.
Um,
We were at a conference we were in, disability seminar in D.C. 2.2 million of people with disabilities did not vote.
Okay, that's a big
Imagine-
number.
Now, just think about 2.2. What would have been the difference if we had 2.2 million people voting?
Yes, it would have been a different outcome.
Yes.
Yeah. It would have definitely been a different outcome.
Yeah.
I got you.
So it's important. Everybody remembers. Oh.
Yeah.
So this is the thing here with voting. Is that people have a right. Everybody has a right to. But I think what's happening, we need to be more educated to understand, and also make our vote, our leaders, accountable.
Yes.
So this year we want to look at it, not that you're going to come to a forum and listen to you, and you say something, and then next 2 years we come back again.
Yeah. None of that.
No. We want to make sure that if you say you're going to do it, we're going to monitor and hold you accountable.
Okay.
In other words, to start tracking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a number 1.2 million?
2.2.
2.2. So do you have a number for here in the Virgin
About
Islands?
10%. We were trying to get that from election
Okay.
to find out exactly how many people are registered disability vote, and I think we have not been able to get that to figure out. But 10% of the population is people with disabilities.
Okay.
And that's what we want to do. We want to make, also try to get people with disabilities to come out and make sure they register to vote.
Yes.
And they do vote.
Okay.
And also make sure they can have access to the ability to vote. I know in other states I've been looking at, you have the absentee ballot voting.
Yes.
In the mainland, some places they have curbside voting.
Yes.
Where people can come to the curb,
Yeah.
and someone comes out and gets
Yeah.
the ballots.
Yeah. You don't have to get out your
You
car.
don't have to get out your car.
Yeah.
So those kind of things we need to move. We got to get more into the 21st century.
So we're not doing that here.
I don't think we do that here.
Okay.
I know, but I think we need to. I have somebody actually looking to see what we have here now.
Yeah. So what I know when I listen to some of the local radio stations here, I did hear a lot of complaints about the seniors not getting any help. And I wasn't really quite sure as to why. So is this sort of
what helping what way?
well? I think that people couldn't get to the grocery store. I think that also I guess sort of what I got to is that the bus.
Yeah,
There's buses that drive around and
Yeah.
pick people up and run errands, and
Oh, right,
that
right.
wasn't happening, kind of stuff. And so it caused a big uproar in a sense for the elderly and the handicapped and that kind of stuff.
Right, that's the VITRAN. But there are two types of transportation system here. You have the the one that runs the routes,
Okay.
the fixed route.
Okay.
Then you have the plus, the Vitran Plus,
Okay.
which is a paratransit.
Okay, that kind of goes right up to your house.
Or up to the curb. It's curb to curb.
Okay. Okay.
And then they carry you where you need to go.
Okay.
And I know there has been some challenges. I understand that they have new buses in
Okay.
to do that.
Okay.
And they're trying now to employ more people.
Okay.
But my understanding, they don't run on Saturdays.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And one of the things I think we need to emphasize that you get what you pay for, right?
Okay.
Okay.
That's true.
And so one of the things we feel is an issue, which is going to be a highly political issue,
Mm-hmm.
is that there was a law that passed years ago
Okay.
where the seniors didn't have to pay for riding the bus, the fixed route.
Okay. Okay.
But my understanding is that that cost was supposed to be able to be reimbursed to Vitran.
Okay.
So that has never happened.
Okay.
So you have a system, a public transport system that is not financially stable
Okay.
because they lose revenues based on the amount of people
That actually ride it.
who ride for free
Yeah.
and ride
Yeah.
around and around and around
Yeah, all day.
all day.
Yeah.
And so if you can, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that's law that, or bill that, or law that needs to be, a legislation needs to be repealed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
I remember when that changed. Because I remember it being free and then they started charging.
Yeah, but 60 cents,
Yeah.
65 cents, something.
Yeah, they started
come on.
charging.
But
For
guess,
someone on a fixed income, that could be a lot, you know.
well, guess what? If you don't have buses, what are they gonna have to take? The vans, right?
Yeah.
How much the vans are? $2.50,
Okay.
and they don't get a discount.
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm saying is that 60 cents, 65 cents is nothing. If we need public transportation, we need financial, and it needs to be paid for.
Okay. So how do we get money for that kind of stuff? Is that a grant or?
No. Why would you get a grant when you're having people ride for free?
Okay. So that they wouldn't go for that.
Why? I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
if you have people paying and then you say, well, I need some assistance, but if you're not even charging people to take the bus,
Uh-huh.
even as a discount, to me, would not be feasible. Also, too, is that a lot of them people are working.
Yeah.
So not a lot of them that's there on the bus and they just ran around.
Yeah.
A lot of them, I look at it because I take the bus and I count.
Yeah.
75% of people get on the bus for free and get off the bus at their job.
Oh, okay.
And it only takes.
You talking about the 250 bus? Or
No, I'm talking about the Vitran bus.
the Vitran bus? Okay.
And only 15 minutes of your time of the day
Uh,
is enough to pay for your transportation.
I got you.
So
okay. So, but how do we fix that? I mean,
I think we need to have some. If we have how many people running for for the Senate and stuff.
Senate.
like that,
Okay.
we need to ask them: are you willing to repeal that free rider, or are you going to find the money to pay Vitran for those unfundable riders?
Yeah, I
That's
got
what it
you.
needs to do.
Yeah. And
Because,
and that money is basically to pay the drivers to
and
maintain.
to improve the system. you
Okay,
know?
I got you.
So we can have, one of the things you see, if you have the money, and you know how much people, it's about 200,000 free rides a year. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
That could put up signs for when the bus comes, you know, time the bus is coming.
Yeah.
It can do a lot of improvement to make sure when they need parts,
yeah,
the bus is not breaking down, they
Yeah.
can be repaired. So I think if what it says, a free ride is no ride.
yeah.
And I watched people who go on the bus for free, and when it takes too long, they pay the $2.50 and they go on the van.
Yeah.
So if they can pay the $2.50 in the van, when they don't know when the bus coming, they can pay 65 cents, whatever it is.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so our guest tonight is Yvonne Petersen. She's with the Virgin Islands Developmental Disability Council. Tomorrow is the day 2, because you were in St.Thomas today, and tomorrow
we're in St.Thomas on Tuesday.
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And today's Wednesday.
So tomorrow we're doing Thursday.
Oh, you're doing tomorrow? Okay. And tomorrow is just a
The disaster preparedness.
disaster preparedness, and so you're just going to be talking to the people that come about just being prepared, I guess.
Right.
Trying to just make sure they're completely prepared for what could happen again.
Right. And don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
One of the things with the Vitran Plus is because it's so small, you have have place for wheelchair, things like that. And so you can't bring a lot of bags.
Yes.
And so what we tell them to do is that, every week you go to the shop and pick up 1 gallon, put it aside
Yeah.
until you have enough gallons so you don't have to
Bring them all at one
bring all
time.
at one time.
Yeah.
You see, and do something like that.
Okay. So this is the kind of stuff that you're sharing with them?
Yeah, we're sharing with them.
Okay.
Sharing with them.
You said
Talking about WAPA being there.
WAPA being
female
there,
gonna be
female.
there, answering questions regarding what happens if you're in a apartment and it's destroyed. Those landlord things issues. So there's other
Okay.
areas going to be coming up.
Okay.
And so it was really is to really get prepared for a hurricane or a disaster from June.
First.
June.
Yeah. 1st of June is coming up. Hurricane season will be in full effect. And I guess we got to be prepared. I mean, for me, living through that, I feel more prepared. I know now what I got to do, what I need. I don't need any of that kind of stuff. And so you feel a bit more prepared and ready to go. But I guess if you're an elder and you're maybe disabled, that whole process could be a struggle.
Yes.
And so we just need to help them a little bit more.
Right. And those who live alone, see if you have somebody, a neighbor or somebody who you can help assist you just in case you have to leave your home to go to a shelter.
Okay.
You always tell people don't wait till the last minute.
Yes.
Somehow we think it's coming and it's going to go viral somewhere.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
thinking that's going to happen and until you realize it's on you.
Yeah, it's staying straight on us. Yeah, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. And then in June is the advocacy and parent advocacy conference.
Yes, and that's going to be, and also has a section where we where we have the conferences during the day, and last time we did what you call policymakers orientation.
Okay.
And what that is that last time we talked to the incumbents.
Okay.
And also aspirants. To let them know is that think about policies, and interestingly enough, that time we recommended that we have a trauma-informed policy, and look what happened.
Okay.
If they had take that initiative and if we had a trauma-informed policy, we'd have been more prepared to address a lot of people here is stressed, have experienced trauma.
Yeah.
And we should have been more prepared for that.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And so what else is happening?
Well, those are the things that I said we're looking at the issues of voting, trying to get the people with disability to come out and vote.
Yeah. How has that worked in the past? I mean, is there something in
This
play?
is something that we knew. This is something when you just have voices that count.
Okay.
And that happened all the time. But I think what happens is now you have voices that count. Those who care to show up, ask the question, they ask questions. But then after that, what happens? Nothing.
Yeah.
And so we want to bring it to elevate to another level.
Okay, I got you.
You say you're gonna do this here, we're gonna track you.
Okay. Okay.
And see if you did it. Because what I found though is that, and to teach all our voters to have more, to understand more about how to really measure what our leaders are doing.
Yeah.
You might come up with a vote, you might come up with a bill and says to help, whatever it is, but if you don't put funding behind the bill, it's just a bill that sits there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to start having our leaders dive deeper into the things that we need. For example, we have noise pollution bill.
Yes.
And I know if you go outside anytime, you're going to hear somebody blasting noise.
Yeah.
Okay? This happened to me one time. It was very funny. I was sitting down. I was passing a road, and I had a gentleman with some speakers in the car, blasting, and with children in the car.
Yeah.
And I knocked on his window. I says, "You know how much it costs to get a hearing aid for those children?" He said, "What?" I said, "A couple of $1,000s."
Yeah.
Then he said to me, "Does Medicaid pay for it?" I said, "No." He went in the back and he turned on the music.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So those are kind of things, we have the noise pollution. We need to get it enforced.
Yeah.
Because we don't know data. Children who have hearing impairment, is this something that they're born with or because of the experience?
The exposure.
Exposure, right.
To the lung.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And is it immediate or it can be gradual?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we need to really address those issues because we know having a hearing loss, which could be preventable.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. No one should really have kids in the backseat of a car with a
But it happens.
with a full blown sound system
Yes.
going at 100 million decibels. That's just way too much.
Right.
It's way too much.
So what I'm saying is that we have to start looking at what our legislatures or our leaders do and see what's the real impact.
Okay.
For example, I was looking at the bill they passed the other day, this gang-related bill.
Okay.
Right? And I compare it to other states.
Okay.
And the other states I look at, they identify revenue source.
Okay.
Ours didn't.
Okay.
So what's a bill about gang if you don't?
Yeah. Have any money to sort of
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to find the money because it's not about just putting people in prison. It's about intervention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And intervention comes from finding the resources to do that.
Yeah. To prevent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. To prevent. Yeah.
And
I
so
got you.
we're looking at how do you really measure your leaders besides what they say. You look at what they say,
Okay.
you want to see what they do, and you want to be able to measure the effect or the impact of what they
What they're doing or not doing.
or not doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
And I think it's critical this year.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's it for that, right?
Yeah. For the
It's about 8:31, so we're gonna go a few more minutes. But we wanted to touch a little bit about the whole. We got a big entourage of people running for office this year.
Yeah.
We've had an opportunity to talk to a few of them already, and we got more on the schedule for May, and we got more on the schedule already for June. And I still got to make an effort to link up with all the other individuals running for office, senators, and for the governorship.
Right.
So if you're hearing me and you're out there, link me up 340-201-9005 anytime during the day up until about 8 o'clock, and try to get you on the schedule so that we can talk to you. Me and Soup can talk to you in the future. But you had some thoughts, I guess, on the whole thing of the election this year.
Well, personal thoughts.
Well, yeah. This from this point now, 8:32 to 8:40. It's all Yvonne's personal opinions. Don't hold it against the show. Hold it against her.
I first of all, I think it's unbelievable that so many people running, and I don't know. My question is why? Is it because of the money? I mean, that's
Getting a paycheck? You're talking when you say money, you're talking about them getting a salary of
that's
$85 a
salary.
year? Okay.
And what is really being done, you know?
Okay.
What I'm saying is that we have people who are running for, let's look at the senators, 85,000, okay? And then when I look, you know, at data, let's look at data.
Okay.
Okay? If you look at the conditions and economics of the majority of people in the Virgin Islands, we're having more and more single female-headed households on food stamp.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
so that
good.
tells me how the economy getting better, and what's their job? Raise revenues, right?
Yeah.
And pass laws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which one is really done right? None. So if you have more people on food stamp, and we have a big divide between, if I look at the data between, I think it's like a 20,000 difference between blacks and whites here. There's a gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as income goes? Okay.
And
Okay.
things like that.
Okay.
And so my question is, for the last 5 to 10 years, what has our leaders who are there really have done? What impact have they? So you have to look at what impact have they made.
Okay.
You know, those who are still plan to run, and then you have those who now want to run as a top leader.
Okay.
So I think we need to look at what have they done
Prior?
prior.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
to see
Okay.
whether or not. And the one question I would like to find out is how much of them, if they lose, is going to take a job.
Oh, you mean with
Yeah,
the new
cancellation. Yeah,
the new administration? I got
Yeah,
you. I got you.
Because not because you run for Senate means you can be a commissioner.
Yes.
It doesn't translate.
Okay. Two different job responsibilities
Yeah,
and
two
duties,
different
right?
skill sets.
Skill sets. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I
And
got you.
so you wonder why.
Okay.
You know?
I guess the rumor, I guess the vibe I get from Facebook, you know, I'm a Facebook junkie now, is that, you know, I think that they want new blood. You know, I had saw a post on Facebook maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks back about, they were sort of talking about 3 female senators, well, Senate hopefuls getting in, and hopefully, these 3 could just move, change things around and get things moving. I don't know. I'm like you. I mean, I want to see things change. I've been living here since I came back in 2008. And for my money, I don't think much has changed, really.
Right.
Nothing's really different. And when I say that, I'm talking about when I walk up my door, am I seeing any change in my neighborhood? And I'm not
Right.
seeing it. And then when I go out of my neighborhood, I see that nothing's changing. In your neighborhood,
Right.
in Soup's neighborhood, and his neighborhood, nothing's changing. So, and that's, in a sense, been going on, since I came back, and it's probably going on maybe before.
Yeah.
But I mean, living here from 2008 to present, I kind of see that. I mean, we want change.
Yeah, we want change.
Um,
But I also want to see is that how.
yeah, how
In
it's
other
going
words,
to come
in other
about.
words, I can say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I want you to tell me how.
Yeah, lay out the steps.
Yeah, lay out the steps.
Yeah, lay out the steps. Okay.
And what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're in favor of like a project plan. You can use Microsoft Project and can create a plan on how to deal with mental illness or
Right,
agriculture.
right.
First day in office, and this is what I'm gonna do, and the whole lay out the whole plan. I don't know. I mean, it's tough. I don't want to say, and I don't want to be harsh, but I mean, like I said, I just think that nothing really, and if things are being done, it's I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. I want to have the political will to do it. That's another issue.
Yeah.
Because let's say, for example, education.
Mm.
If you look at, how the education system is set up here compared to many other jurisdictions, we have I call it it's conflicted, because you normally have the Board of Education really as the policymakers,
Okay.
and you have the Department of Education as administration.
Okay.
But here, you have the administration or having oversight over, let's say, the superintendents.
Okay.
And if I remember, St.Croix Foundation did a piece called "Cracking the Code."
Mm.
Very, very well done
Mm.
and very insightful.
Mm.
What we need to do to improve the education system.
Okay.
If you look at the data in the education system, if you have 72% of your public students cannot pass I think the entries, I think the math and skills, I think math and English skills for UVI.
Okay.
I have to go to remedial math and English. Something that happened, if you compare it to the private school who have less money,
Yeah.
their percentage is like 0.01%,
Okay.
2%. So I'm saying is that there is part of the legislation needs to be fixed.
Mm.
And the question is, are you willing to do the right thing?
Do the right thing. Yeah.
And do it. So if you're not, then you're no different.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So the education is one area. We need to. Are you willing to have districting? Because right now, to me, this is just a popularity contest.
Okay.
Okay? That's all it
Okay.
is. And so we need to educate our voters. I remember I won't say where I was, but I asked a lady, you were talking about voting and stuff as that, and I asked her, she told me who she voted for, and I asked her why. She said because they give her a bag of rice. And I said, well, how many pounds? Was it 5 or 10 pounds?
Oh, really? Okay.
And then she watched me like, what do you mean? I
Yeah.
said, because I want to know how much your vote was worth.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm trying to, it's about, we need to change our mentality. I think we have so many people running because we do not educate the voters. We somebody has a good chicken fry, we have a good band, and things like that. That's
Yeah.
the
The
we
wrong
need to,
ways, yeah.
yeah, we need to
Yeah.
change that. That we're where we are because we keep making the same mistakes over
Yeah.
and over. To me,
Yeah, Soup and I had a joke
Uh-huh.
about everybody's having these jams now.
yeah,
2-3 bands and all that. But the thing is that we always say, how many people there are talking politics? So I don't know. I particularly don't go to those things, but I drove past one the other day, and I was really surprised to see how many people were there.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free, and I guess
Music, yeah.
so whatever, and
Yeah.
just study the candidates, and just pick the one that we hope and pray that will make change, and get them in office so that things can change. I mean, I don't know what else or how else to put that, but
Go back to how.
yeah,
What are they gonna do?
yeah, what are they gonna do? I like all the candidates we've talked to so far, and we got more to talk to, and like we like to say, may the best man or woman win, and get in there. But real quick, what are your thoughts on the reapportionment? Do you think that we should have less senators? Because I think we should have less senators.
Well, we voted for, remember we had a referendum, and we voted to have less senators.
I remember that.
And they said we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
So, to me, anybody who said that shouldn't be in, but we need to. I don't think we need that much senators.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
We need to probably, to me, just maybe even 7, 3 on each island, 1 on St. John.
Yeah, yeah. I think we should go with go from 7 to
9.
No. I mean, like we should go from 7 to maybe 4, somewhere in there. Because then you have 3 $85,000 a year salaries that could be used for many other things. That's my thought on that. It means that the 3 or 4 that are there have to probably work a little harder, but you're a servant of the people,
right?
And hopefully it doesn't become overbearing, but
it would
7 is a bit much, I think.
And if it won't be to me overbearing if our administration, whoever it is, I'm not talking about this one, I'm talking about anyone, do what's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine said one time, many of our legislators are super commissioners. We go there with complaints and things like that, and things not being done. But if we had people in office and who are able to do their job, a lot of time we put people because of patronage. They're my friend, they help me on my campaign. But I remember something one time Louis Farrakhan said. He said, black people, we support your black doctors, but black doctors be good doctors.
I got you on that one, man. Yeah. So our guest tonight is Yvonne Petersen. She is with the Virgin Islands Developmental Disability Counsel. So real quick, tomorrow is the conference at the UVI Great Hall.
Yes, it's from 10 to 3. We're going to have, FEMA, disability rights. We're going to be talking to people to give them some guidance and prepare them for the
next hurricane season.
That's starting in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And asking questions about issues of policy, things like that. And I think that's one of the things that we want to get out of this is that we need to have policies. The government have policies that give direction to what we need to do. How do we make sure that people who have disabilities or mobility issues are not left out like what happened?
Yeah.
So we need to really hear from Vitima. To say how are we going to make sure that the communication. Because communication was a big issue.
Yeah, I heard some of those stories on some of the other radio stations. It was kind of heartbreaking to hear that the seniors and the disabled were just kind of caught there. It's like, man, I mean, how can you forget about that? I mean, it was just kind of heartbreaking to me. I felt very sad, and just like, how can that happen?
And it shouldn't be after fact. If you have a distribution center, you need to immediately have, this is for people with disability, this is for mobility, and it shouldn't have to be, you know something?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we need to have 2 lines.
Yeah.
It should have been already in the plan.
Yeah.
So already in place.
Yeah.
And so a lot of things are after the fact, a trial and error type thing.
Yeah.
And that we can't have that happen.
Well, let's hope they got it right for this coming hurricane season, which starts in 2 weeks, June 1st. Get prepared. If a lot of you were here for Hurricane Maria and Irma, hopefully you've learned some lessons in preparation already, and you're getting prepared for the next hurricane season because.
But not always a hurricane. Remember, we had a
earthquake.
Yeah,
I keep saying hurricane, but we could have many
all
types
disasters. and make sure our system is working.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then in June, you have the self-advocacy
And Parent Advocacy Conference.
Conference,
But
okay.
we're also having, it says, we call it policymakers orientation.
Okay.
Where we want the aspirants and incumbents to have, to see what we think, well, in our aspect, or our position, what policies we need to think of having in place
Okay.
in order to better serve the population.
The population, yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. So our guest tonight is Yvonne Petersen. She's with the Virgin Islands Developmental Disabilities Council. Do you have a number or website that you can give our listeners with how they can get a hold of you, or email address?
Well,
anything?
email address, we have no office.
Okay.
My office is my phone, my cell phone, and my computer.
Okay.
But our email address is VID,
Okay.
as in
David.
David.
Okay.
D as in David.
Okay.
COUNCIL@gmail.com.
Okay. So if you have any questions for Miss Yvonne Petersen, drop her an email. She'll be sure to return your email as quickly as possible. She has 2 events coming up. One is tomorrow at the Great Hall. Where's the one at in June?
So it'll be a UVI to the Great Hall.
Okay. So that one's going to be at the Great Hall as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to thank you for coming in today and sharing some knowledge with us, and then about these 2 events. It sounds very important. So if you're here and you can get there, you want to say one more thing?
Yeah, one thing I want to bring up though is that one of the things the DD Council do is capacity building.
Okay.
Because in talking to our federal agencies and we recognize it's important. Our nonprofits play a very important role.
Mm-hmm.
But the challenge is funding. And I think we need to start helping the not-for-profits. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's capacity building, because we need to start helping nonprofits not depend on local government for resources.
Resources.
Funding, yes.
Okay.
And so capacity building that means that you help them develop the organization, train the boards, and go after foundation and federal funding.
Yeah.
And as a federal grant reviewer and a grant writer, you see more and more that the federal government is moving towards capacity building.
Okay.
So if you want to get funds from them, you got to build your capacity.
Okay.
You got to be trained.
Okay.
You got to be able to do evaluations.
Okay.
And so that's the kind of thing we're looking at now for the next fiscal year.
Okay.
Is start providing training
Okay.
to build the capacity for not-for-profits.
Okay.
So they can go after funding and not depend on the local government.
Government for funding,
It
because
ain't
I think
happening.
here the nonprofits here rely heavily on the government, right?
Yeah, I remember I had a time where they had something they were not going to give them funding, and then there was a
Yeah, I remember there was a big whole mess
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, yeah. I never quite understood what was going on there, but that's interesting. All right, so our guest tonight is Yvonne Petersen. She is with the Virgin Islands Developmental Disability Council. I always get that screwed up. Please forgive me for that. So on that note, I just want to say real quick that this is the It's Your Perspective talk show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until. We do have a telephone number, 340-201-9005. Soup will be back with us tomorrow. Moving on into the rest of May, we do have some people, some persons running for office on the schedule. We also have some people running for office coming on the show in June. Stay tuned for that. We do have a telephone number, 340-201-9005. We're on Facebook. Check us out also on streaming live on the VI.com radio. You can listen to that via TuneIn, 24-hour-a-day music. So on that note, we're out. Everybody have a great evening and be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Virgin Islands, sweet like sugar.